Guess what? You thought it couldn't get worse? The Uvalde Police Department, their school district, they're no longer cooperating with the Texas probe of the shooting. That's right. It's like the old saying, you can't spell cop without taking the O out of co-op. Am I right? Come on.
It's an old Uvalde expression.
It's an old Uvalde expression. The Uvalde Police Department and the Uvalde Independent School District Police Force are no longer cooperating with the Texas Department of Public Safety's investigation into the massacre at Robb Elementary School and the state's review of the law enforcement response. Multiple law enforcement sources tell ABC News. Wait a minute, the cops are not cooperating with the other cops? Isn't that how 9/11 happened? So they're no longer going to do it. The police department and the independent school district police force. So they got a cop force just for the schools, which was worthless. And they have their own police department, which is also worthless. And they're not going to be... Come on! Sounds like someone has a guilty conscience because they're guilty. The Uvalde police chief and a spokesperson for the Uvalde Independent School District did not immediately respond to requests for comment from ABC News. According to sources, the decision to stop cooperating occurred soon after the director of DPS, Colonel Stephen McGraw, held a news conference Friday during which he said the delayed police entry into the classroom was, quote, the wrong decision, end quote, and contrary to protocol. Well, I don't blame them after he attacked them that way. I mean, come on. Both the Uvalde cops and AOC don't have to take your bullying. Colonel Steve McGraw is probably just mad he can't date the Uvalde police force. Reached by ABC News, a spokesperson for the Texas Department of Public Safety said the Uvalde Police Department and Uvalde CISD police have been cooperating with investigators. Wait a minute, I'm getting mixed messages. Which cop is lying? One of them. The chef at the chief and the chef.
They've changed his title to chef.
They've graded him down to chef. The chief of the Uvalde CISD police provided an initial interview, but has not responded to a request for a follow-up interview with the Texas Rangers that was made 2 days ago. So they say they cooperated, but then the CISD police say they haven't returned calls for 2 days. Is Alec Baldwin the Uvalde chief or police something? What is going on over there?
I've already cooperated.
She was my friend. Even the cops know never to talk to the cops. That's very well said. How, Eliza?
That's the, Alec Baldwin not giving over his phone. That's probably the proper thing to do when you have the cops investigating. You're probably supposed to not, get your ducks in a row and a lawyer in order. There's no telling.
You never, ever talk to the cops, ever. Even if you didn't do nothing, never nothing. You don't talk to them. That is ground one. And then number two, if you don't have to give them your phone, you don't. If he had the option to not give it, I would not give it. They're going to find stuff you don't want them to find. Just comply. Just comply. If you have done nothing wrong, there's nothing to be afraid of. That's very funny. Well done. So the cops are no longer cooperating because they're lying cops. And I don't know if you know anything about cops, but they're liars. Just like the government, they're liars. Okay.
Well, the school, too, I think it's a small town. I want to know how many people have the same last name across all the various administration because there's got to be a ton of somebody's dumb nephew is appointed to this position and all across what was that tweet you had from that woman who said I used to work there?
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
She was the prosecutor in Uvalde, and she said, and they're on the side of the cops. The prosecutor, she wasn't adversarial, and she said, have my dealings with the Uvalde cops, you're never going to know what the truth is. That's what she said. Hey, we're doing stand-up comedy in Irvine, California, Las Vegas, San Diego, Salt Lake City, Indianapolis, Louisville, all over the place. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for tickets.